Welcome, this is Hispanic Biz. I'm Homero Galicia. We meet with successful entrepreneurs to learn their story, why they built a business, how they built a business, and what it takes to build a business. We trust you enjoy this program. Today we have a special guest with us, a wonderful gentleman named Mr. Oscar Lujan, who is the president of National Furniture Liquidators. Mr. Lujan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your time. So tell me, what is National Furniture Liquidators?
We're a retail store, furniture store. We've been in business since 1998.
Wow. So you were a kid when you started the business?
I was 28.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow, very young. And how many stores do you have?
We're to 4 right now.
Wow. And where are these stores?
There's 2 stores here in El Paso, one in Albuquerque, one in Roswell. There's another one in Alamogordo. That one does not belong to me. It's one of my brothers. And another one in Las Cruces, who belongs to another one of my brother.
Oh, okay. So it's a family business now.
It's kind of a family business, yes.
And what is your primary product?
Just furniture, mattresses, bedroom, living room, dining tables.
And so, so you started when you were 28, so you were very young. So you started here in El Paso?
Yes, sir.
And where are you from?
Chihuahua.
Ah,
Born
okay.
and raised in Chihuahua, came here to the U.S., actually all the way to LA when I was 16.
Oh, wow. When you went to LA, were you speaking any English?
None.
Wow. Did you go to school in LA?
Yes, sir.
And you learned English a la brava?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Literally.
Just because they didn't have special programs at that time, right?
No. We, my sister-in-law, who I love dearly, she took me under her wing, and she took me to adult school in LA.
Okay.
So I went to adult school at in Montebello, California.
Oh, okay. So you went to adult school to learn English.
Yes.
And then after that?
No. I was working. I was going to school. After going to adult school, they didn't want me there, and they transferred me to an adult high school.
Okay.
To get my diploma.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
And so how long were you in California?
I was 16 and I left when I was 21. I don't remember.
Okay. And from there, where did you go?
I went back to Chihuahua.
Okay. Why?
I had a brand new baby, and all of a sudden, I hit the second one right behind the other one, and I was going to have a hard time. So we went back to Chihuahua, to my mom's house, and asked for some help.
Okay. And so you did that for how long?
I stayed there for, I don't think it was more than a year.
Okay.
And then I moved to Juarez, hoping to make the jump to El Paso.
Okay. So El Paso was always on your horizon?
It was always on the map, yes, sir.
Why?
Just close to family.
You have family here?
I do, 2 brothers.
Uh-huh.
But, all of my uncles and, the extended family, they're all here.
But before, when you were in Chihuahua and wanted to come to Juarez, what was attractive about Juarez?
When I was in Chihuahua, the job that I got right away was selling books. And my goal, or the goal of the business when you were selling books, is to get together a group of people that would follow you and open up your own office. And I picked Juarez to open up my own office.
Okay.
That's, I was selling books door to door when I was in Chihuahua. Started training people, and I was a trainer back then. You start selling and then trainer, and then you start training people, and so that's when you move and you become a manager and you have a few people under you.
What kind of books?
It was just never an encyclopedia. Everybody tells me it was always one book. They would send 5,000 books every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, and it was always, maybe a cookbook, maybe a dictionary, maybe a kid's book, a coloring book.
Oh, wow.
It was always one book. Get rid of them, and the next shipment will be there.
Interesting.
Yes.
And it was profitable.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I sold books to when I was going to college.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you might
in
know.
California. So So how long were you in Juarez?
I got there, I was 21, 22, because I had 2 babies when I moved to Juarez.
Wow.
And I was there until 95. 95, that's when I started working for Furniture Factory Warehouse here in El Paso.
So you came over and worked for
them.
And you worked for them? Well, that sounds like just 3 years.
Yes.
Wow. So tell me about your family. How many brothers and sisters?
There's 6 of us. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
And where are they all now?
2 brothers are here in El Paso, and I have a brother and a sister in Chihuahua, and I had a sister that passed in 11 years ago.
Okay. And your mom?
My mom lives with me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What did you learn from your mother?
She's a tough woman. That's gonna be hard to talk about, but yeah, she's very tough. She was able to raise all 6 of us by herself.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That and with all the moves, you were helpful to all of that too, to the moves, moving from Chihuahua to Juarez and El Paso.
Well, I had to do something. You can't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stay still.
Yeah.
I had to.
And your father, what can you tell?
My father. My father left when I was very young, but he was, in a way, he was a very hardworking man. Fortunately, things happen, and he wasn't there when we were growing up, but I learned a lot on how hard working person he was, for a lack of a better word.
What did he do?
Everything. He never worked for anybody.
Okay.
And I guess that's where I got it from. He always, buy this here and sell it there. He used to come to El Paso to buy merchandise and bring it back to Chihuahua and sell it, and he did that. That's what I really remember for forever. El Paso and Presidio, Texas.
Oh, Presidio too.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you came to El Paso in what was it? What would you say? 92, 95?
95.
95. And were you already speaking English by that time?
Yes.
And you started selling furniture?
I started working for Furniture Factory Warehouse.
And what did you learn there?
Everything I know.
Really?
Yes, I learned a lot from them. There's a couple of people that I appreciate dearly. One of them still now works for me. He was my boss. His name is Willie. He taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him, and I still, as of today, I still am learning from every single one of my guys working there. And there was a general manager that somehow he saw something in me where he was teaching me and telling me stuff that wasn't related to what we were doing. He would, I was just selling furniture. And he would teach me percentages on how much I should be paying in rent and how much I should be spending in advertising and how much should be spending on payroll. And he would always tell me, it's like, you're my protege. I think you're going to do big things. God knows what he saw.
Really?
Yes.
So what were you like then?
What was I like? I don't know. I guess.
You were a good salesman, right?
I think I was. I think I am still.
Yeah. Well, you were making money.
Yeah, but what I think the difference between what I like to think the difference is that I never did what I was asked. They would ask me to do this, and I would do this, and a whole lot more.
And more.
I had to go in at 10 in the morning. I was there by 8:30. I was the last one to leave. I didn't have to do purchase orders. I did them. Willie taught me how to do that. And I started helping on things that was not my position, and I just didn't think about it. I just did
Why
it.
did you do that?
Bored.
Okay.
There's, I think, and I still do think, a salesperson on a furniture floor, you get a customer every hour and a half, every hour. And I was coming from a fast-paced business on the books, just coming and going, house after house, business after business. And so I get to that business, and I go in. I was living in Juarez back then, and I would drive, and I hate being late. So I would leave at 7 in the morning, 7:30, to make sure that I was there on time. So sometimes I was there at 8:30, 8:50, 9. And my first customer was at 1.
Wow.
Yeah, 3-4 hours. What do I do? So I start asking questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? And my goal was always to do something and open up my own. Never thought about furniture until later on, but I started learning the business.
So you had an idea of you want to do something on your own from the beginning.
When I was selling books, I was making really, really good money for a 23-year-old. I had really, really good weeks. 2,000, 1,500 books in a week with a profit of $1, $2, $3 a book. Do the math.
Gee.
I was 23. I was smart enough to save up my money, and I bought a house, and because I came in with nothing.
Wow.
So, bought a house, bought a car, furnished the house. And when we went under, I was like so mad at myself because I didn't save more. So
you went under?
We went under with the books. That was in the devaluation of 94.
Oh, okay.
We were buying the books for $4, from one day to the other one. Now we're buying it for 12.
Wow.
We were selling it at $7, $8, and now we had to sell it at 17. People they weren't buying it.
Okay.
So it just went down the drain little by little. And I was so upset at myself that I had a business and I had to start all over again. So from the time I started working at the furniture store, I was like, I have to do something. I don't know what it is.
So what habits did you develop to so that wouldn't happen again?
Well, correct. Just, I don't know if frugal is the word.
Okay.
But I don't spend on stuff that I don't need.
Okay.
It's plain and simple. I don't need a $100,000 car.
Okay.
I don't need a $20,000 watch.
Okay.
That type of thinking.
And where did you learn that from? From that experience or from family?
Yes, life.
Okay. Are you the oldest, the youngest, the middle?
I'm the youngest one.
Youngest.
Yes.
So your older brothers and sisters taught you a lot?
My oldest brother. All of them, in a way,
Mm-hmm.
But I look up to my oldest brother, Leo.
And what does he do for?
He owns the store in Alamogordo.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had some guidance there. You had a mentor in your older brother.
Yes.
That's neat. And so you work. Where was the store that you were working at?
Hawkins.
Oh, it's Hawkins.
It was at Hawkins. I don't remember the address.
Mm-hmm.
We have a store there which is right next door. It's 1045. I think it was 1033 Hawkins.
Wow. So
I'm
you've
not
been in that
mistaken.
same area.
Yes.
And so while you were working, you were learning. Did you know why you wanted to learn?
I just don't like being stuck.
So you were just going 100 miles an hour all the time,
Pretty much.
and you would get bored easy.
Yes.
So you had this idea of starting a business, and what came together for you to start the business? What you just said, I'm going to start, or what?
Yes. After they offered me management positions in Alamogordo, and I didn't take it. They offered me to manage a store at Hawkins where I started, and the store was already going downhill. I actually helped close both stores.
Really?
But I didn't take the management, and they decided to close, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. And then they offered me a third store in Las Cruces. And when they offered me that store, I fear if I don't take it, they're going to ignore me from now on, so I have to. So I was driving back and forth. And when I moved to Las Cruces, that's when I decided that I had to do something on my own.
Why?
I felt ready.
Okay.
I felt ready. I felt that I learned enough, the business enough, to be able to go on my own.
So you decided to go into the same business you'd been working in
Correct.
because you knew it and you studied it.
I thought I knew. You know, I learned a lot afterwards.
So what'd you do? What'd you do to start?
Well, I started doing my due diligence. Started looking at I had a couple buildings in mind. One of them is the one where I'm at right now in Hawkins. I started looking at vendors. I did not want to take any vendors from my old employer. Mr. Giles is the name of the owner, and he was a really good person to me, and I wasn't gonna, do anything wrong or do anything to hurt him, so I didn't take any of his vendors. And I started going to different furniture stores and picking up brands and finding out. No, there was no Google back then to find out where they were based. So I had to find out and call them up and find a sales rep and get a meeting and did all that before we opened up and see if it was feasible. And yeah, I got a lot of support from a lot of my vendors when I originally started.
So how long did it take you to do that due diligence?
A good 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And so had you been saving, and were you saving to do that?
Working at the store, after work, I would do deliveries. That delivery money was my daily expenses. And my check was being saved.
Okay.
So I had to do deliveries every day. I would do 2 or 3 deliveries a day after work. I would get home at 9 p.m.
So the deliveries was your living income?
That was my living income.
And your paycheck was your savings?
And my paycheck was my savings. I saved $30,000 from my check.
Wow.
I got a $30,000 loan from one of my brothers, Paco. And I pulled $30,000 from my credit card. So I started with $90K.
Wow. Wow, that's a big. And what gave you the confidence that this was going to work?
I had no confidence, I guess. You just flip a coin, you know. You know you're going to be okay. It's going to be a struggle, but you know you're going to be okay. But
you know that because?
You have no choice. You have to make it work.
But you done due diligence.
I did.
You knew you had a market?
I did.
Who was your market?
Well, when I started, it was low-end furniture.
Okay. And you started with what business name at that time? Same?
It was Furniture Mart.
Furniture Mart.
It was Furniture Mart.
Okay. And how did you build a clientele?
Little by little. It took me a month to get. I remember we opened up, and God knows how. God is huge. But I had a sale on my very first day.
Really?
Somebody just came in. I had no sign. I had nothing. I had 3 bedrooms and 2 mattresses, and I sold one of the bedrooms. I sold the girl's bedroom the very first day, and I had no sales for a month.
Okay.
You're like, now what?
Well, but you had to buy furniture to sell.
Yeah, no. We little by little. I remember if after probably the first 6 months, if I had a good weekend, my floor would be empty. On Monday, I'll be struggling trying to get furniture back on the floor.
So you would sell from the floor?
Yes.
Okay.
A good weekend would mean empty floor by Sunday.
Wow. Did you have a warehouse?
It was, that building is 11,000 square feet. It has 1,000 feet on one of the sides. That was leased to somebody else selling, I believe it was granite. And then I had the middle part was my floor, and the right side of the building was warehouse.
Okay. So when did you begin to see this is going to work?
Almost right away.
Really?
almost right away.
You had a sense.
It took me exactly 1 year to open up the second store, and that store was in Las Cruces.
Where was that store?
In Las Cruces.
Oh, you opened up in Las Cruces.
I opened up in Las Cruces almost exactly to the year.
Wow. Was that competing with where you used to work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But you knew that market,
Oh, yes.
and that was a good market for you.
Yes.
So in a year, you opened up a second store.
We opened up a year, and in a year I paid my brother and I paid my credit cards.
Wow.
It was really great.
So now where did you have the resources to buy more furniture?
We have great vendors. They really take care of us, and we have a good relationship with all of them. It's during the pandemic, which was very tough to get furniture. They would call me before they call anybody else, which
Really?
I'm blessed, because they took care of us. When there was no furniture, they would, call us first, give us first right of refusal. So I have this, you want it, and that's how good credit, I guess. We have, like I said, a really good relationship.
So your vendors give you credit?
Yes.
Okay. But that's the relationship that you built.
Yes.
So you were concerned about that relationship.
They
you protected
know they know that one of my biggest words that I use all the time with my salespeople, with my vendors, with my warehouse people when it comes to damages and stuff is just being honest. And my vendors know that when I ask for something, let's say a piece came in damaged, they know that when I'm asking to ask them to solve the problem on that one piece, they know that I'm being honest. Okay. And I tell my guys in the warehouse, if you broke it, you broke it. They don't have to fix it. We broke it. Mm-hmm. We have to take care of it.
Okay.
And our vendors know that
okay.
we try to take care of them because I want them to take care of me.
A lot of people say they're honest, but being honest is something else, no?
Yeah, it's
but that takes a lot, doesn't it, to maintain that?
Unfortunately, sometimes you hire people that are not that honest. You asked me what was one of my challenges, and I thought about it. And I think one of my challenges is always been to pinpoint people and read people. And when you get a dishonest person, is that it could take you down completely if you're not smart enough.
So how do you distinguish between an honest and a dishonest person?
Well, they have a flag. They show up right away. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
You can see it.
You can see it. You can see when they're not honest.
But if you were not honest, you wouldn't see that.
Probably.
You have to be honest to see that.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd go along with it.
Because I'm so blessed with the people that the team that I have.
Yeah.
From head to toe, everybody. I'm very blessed with my crew.
So when did you start? When did you change names of your business?
I got divorced.
Okay.
And I just walked away from my ex store and I opened up on my own.
Okay. And that's when you became
National Furniture Liquidators.
And you advertise now as that.
Correct.
And you have an image that you.
The little cartoon. We were blessed that it worked.
And so you call yourself Shorty.
Correct.
And that stayed with you. You started at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And that's worked for you all this time?
That's worked for us.
Wow. So people know you.
Yes.
They know your stores.
Yes.
But they don't know you yet.
They don't know the person behind, no.
Okay.
A lot of people get surprised when they find out that I'm Shorty.
Okay.
Which I don't like, but I see it as business, it's not personal.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. And so now you have a new name. Was that a big change? You had to start over?
Yes.
Wow. But that was easy.
Easier.
Still hard.
It's work. It's not. I don't think it's hard. I think it's just work. I tell everybody, including some of the people that I have good employees that they tell me sometimes that they want to open up a store on their own. It's like, tell me what you want to know and I'll tell you, And I always tell them, if you get up every morning, you go out, the sun will shine on you. You just got to go out and play.
Wow. And so you're not afraid of starting. Now,
No.
starting is one thing, but growing is something else.
And keeping it is something else.
So how did you learn to run a business?
I don't know. Good question. I go back to what I told you, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I don't need the $100,000 car. I don't need
Right.
the expensive watch. It's just, I think it's easy,
So what is your objective?
When I started in '98, I wanted to be the biggest local furniture store in El Paso. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm very close if I'm not.
Yeah.
Local.
Big in terms of sales.
Big in terms of sales.
How many employees do you have now?
135.
Wow. That's big.
Yes.
That's big. So you go through a lot of furniture every month.
Yes, we do.
And now you have a big warehouse, I assume?
Yes, we do. We have a couple of big spaces.
Yeah, you got to have that. Yeah. And trucks, a bunch of trucks?
Quite a few.
Really? Wow. Again, where did you learn to run the business?
I don't know. I'm telling you, it's just, I guess it's natural. Just, you have $1, X percentage is cost of goods. You gotta pay your bills first. Whatever is left over is yours. Sometimes you have money left over, sometimes you don't. But if you learn that you pay yourself after you pay all your bills, then you'll be okay.
Wow.
A lot of people do it the other way around.
Yes. But that's back to you invest in tools more than toys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a good way to see it. And we keep doing that every year.
Wow. So, we've learned that you started the business, had to change names and start again, and you've now got a bunch of stores that are running and a lot of employees. And is there more growth ahead?
Just whatever we keep getting year after year. Our growth is being about 12% yearly.
Okay.
Last year we got stuck, with all the free money in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for 2022 to get the same sales, but we were pretty much flat, which I think was great because there was a lot of free money rolling around during COVID.
So you made it through, though.
No, we were one of the industries that did really great during COVID. Furniture
Wow.
business.
Really?
Wow. We're talking about the cycling,
Yeah.
and the contractors. They made a lot of money during
Gosh.
COVID.
And you started in 1998.
Correct.
And at that time, it was
Furniture Mart.
It was Furniture Mart.
Yes, sir.
And how long was that?
That was alive until 2008, 2009.
And when did you become National Furniture Liquidators?
2009.
2009.
Yes, sir.
And how many stores do you have now?
4.
Where?
Albuquerque, Roswell, El Paso.
And you have 2 in El Paso?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you started the business. You were selling furniture in a furniture store.
Correct.
When you were young. You were in your 20s.
Yes, sir.
And then you decided when you were 28?
28.
To start this business?
Yes, sir.
With saved money
Yes, sir.
and borrowed money?
And borrowed money.
And credit card
money.
And you were saying you started with 90,000.
Yes, sir.
Was that enough?
No. Enough to start, yes.
But that lasted you how long?
A week.
Really?
Yes, well, we at first it was kind of hard to get vendors,
Yeah.
but we probably filled the store with the 90,000 in about a month.
Wow. Wow. And you identified a market. Your market. What is your market?
My market is El Paso. You know, I mean, everybody needs furniture. We started with lower end furniture. I started advertising on what was back then, I don't know, it still exists, it's a different name, but it was a Triftenico. I was spending about $200 a week, I think, in half a page.
Thrifty nickel.
In the Triftenico. I'm sure you.
Yes, yeah, I remember that. Wow, and that brought in your customers.
Yes, yes, they brought in a little bit of people.
Okay, and how big did you grow Furniture Mart?
Furniture Mart got all the way to 9 stores.
9 stores.
9 stores, and I was running like a chicken without a head. And I learned my lesson. I wasn't making any money on the stores outside of El Paso.
What were the issues?
People. You have to have a good crew.
Your employees, your team.
Yes, yes. It was hard. You know, I'm 100% at fault. I was never able to create a good system, a good inventory, a good good advertising on different markets, because every market is different. Mm-hmm. So you have to learn and adapt to every market, and I was never able to do that.
Why?
It's just different markets. You know, maybe like I say, I think one of my main deals was my inventory system, my everything back then. You know, I was doing everything manual, tickets, bringing in inventory, doing purchase orders.
You were doing that?
Well, my salespeople or my managers at different stores.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge.
So, but everything was on your shoulders.
Pretty much, every day.
And did that get exhausting?
Yes.
And it cost you?
Well, I was running all over the place.
And so then you changed, and you started National Furniture Liquidators.
See, when I opened up National Furniture Liquidators, it was a bigger building than what I was used to. You know, my biggest store was 20,000 square foot with Furniture Mart. When we got this building right off the bat, I believe we were close to 30,000 feet. And just my way of thinking was just growth every year. So if I grow every year, what I want to grow is pretty much opening up another store every year.
Really?
Without going anywhere, without, you know, more overhead, not having that inventory right there in you know, in the back door. It's just been the goal, just to grow within the same building. So we started with 30,000. Right now we got over 60,000 square foot of showroom.
In the same place?
In the same place.
Do you lease or?
We lease.
Yeah, that's a big cost.
Yes.
So, and you have family?
Yes.
How many children?
I have 5 kids. I got 4 of my own and my stepson.
And any of them work with you?
Just my oldest one.
Okay.
All the other ones refuse to work for me.
Really?
They don't like me. They don't like the boss part of it.
Oh, they don't like the boss part, but they go there. They have their own way.
Yes, yes. My oldest son works for me. My daughter and her partner, they have a grooming salon. She's also an entrepreneur. My stepson, I'm gonna go by age. My stepson opened up a boutique with my wife. He's also an entrepreneur. He's liking what he's doing. My third son, he has his own business, skydiving, and then I have an 11-year-old.
Okay, wow, that's neat. So, and you're also a bike rider.
Yes,
You ride bicycles.
That's my.
How many miles do you ride a week?
About 150.
Wow, that's pretty good. So, as you're building your business, what is the biggest change you had to make?
Right now, it's my advertising. I was not used to the type of advertising that we do now. I was always married with print. I wanted to do flyers and mailings and all that type of stuff. And then I got, who is now my manager, Glenn. I consider him one of the smartest person I know.
Really?
Don't tell him that, because then he's gonna believe it. He told me once, like, trust me, we're not gonna do print, we're gonna do TV, we're gonna do some radio. And that was one of the biggest changes that we did. We advertised, and obviously he was right.
And now what your advertising is Shorty.
Correct.
And that works for you.
That works for us, yes, sir.
So you're the Shorty. That's fantastic.
That brought is, I think 85% of El Paso knows
Yes.
the cartoon.
Okay. So you found your market and how to reach it.
Correct. He did.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him all the credit.
Okay. And again, let me ask you, how big is your business?
We got 2 stores in El Paso, 1 in Albuquerque, 1 in Roswell, about 135 employees.
Wow. How do you manage that?
I have great people. I have great managers on every market. And we have my office, my HR girls. They're beautiful. They're hard workers. They're on top of everything, you know.
So are you working 80 hours a week?
No. I'm very blessed. I don't get to work 40 anymore.
So how do you do that?
Once again, I'm blessed with the people I have. I have great people. I have a great crew everywhere across the board.
So you let them do what they do.
Yes.
And you're just watching everything?
I'm just watching everything.
How'd you learn to do that?
You have to. I can't do everything. You have to learn how to delegate. It's one of the hardest things that people do. They don't, a lot of people think that if they don't do it, it's not done right. And it's not my case.
Yeah, but you delegate, but you also have to make sure that people do the work.
But yes, of course. But see, I can't do the advertising alone. I have a great person. He's way better than me.
Right.
I can do the accounting. I'm not an accountant.
Okay.
I let him do his thing. You know, he's great at it. You know, if I let him work and he's happy doing what he's doing, he's going to produce more. The same goes with my salespeople. The same goes with my warehouse manager. The same goes with my delivery guys. I can't be everywhere.
So when did you learn that? How did you learn that?
I guess time.
Was there a time when you were doing everything yourself?
Yes. There's not one thing that you can tell me I didn't do.
But that was limiting your growth.
You can only do so much.
Yeah.
When I opened up, I used to go early in the morning, start putting stuff together. A customer would walk in, I would do the sales. I would do, you know, the deposits and the accounting part of it. I would input everything into my QuickBooks. Customer will leave, keep putting stuff together. I sold this, I have to order, I do the PO. You know, you finish with the PO, you send it in, you make sure it's coming in, you finish the day and you go and deliver. I was a one-man group.
How long did that last?
1 year.
Okay.
I did not take a day off my very first year.
And then what decision did you start making then?
Well, the growth starts asking you for more people.
And realizing you can't do it yourself.
You can't do it all.
So who are the most important people in your business?
My people.
Yeah.
Everybody. That's my biggest asset. I'm nowhere without them.
So what kind of growth is in your future?
Well, hopefully we can keep that 12% going.
Okay.
Right now, we're very focused on the store in Albuquerque. That one's been open for 2 years, and the growth is there. And I think the potential to be where we're in El Paso is there.
So El Paso is your biggest market right now.
Yes.
And you have a store in Roswell.
Yes.
And that's a good store.
That's a good store.
In Las Cruces.
Las Cruces belongs to my brother.
Okay.
And he does very well. That's a good store. He manages well.
Good.
He's a good owner. You know, he works the store. He's there. He thinks way different than I do. He's there. He likes to go and unload furniture and deliver furniture and do some other stuff. But the store is a good store.
Yeah. How important is family in business growth?
Very. Very.
Why?
I probably wouldn't be where I'm at without my beautiful wife. You know, even though she's not in the business, and you know, I tell her, if I hire you, you'll fire me right away. So no, it's not going to happen. But yeah, you know, my wife, my kids, independent of my brothers who are in the business, you know, they're huge. You know, I'm lost without her. It's plain and simple.
Why is that important?
My wife,
your family,
my family. I mean, they keep me motivated.
Okay.
They keep me motivated. I do what I do for them.
Okay, so your motivation is based on?
I want to make sure they're okay.
And in the future?
They need to learn, you know.
So is entrepreneurship, is that something inside of you?
I think so.
I
think so. This is not for everybody.
Your father was an entrepreneur?
Yes.
And your kids are?
My kids looks like they are. My brothers, they all have, every single one. All of them have their own business.
So did you read a lot about business?
No.
How did you learn?
Self-taught, I guess. I learned with my ex-employer, and lives and the business keeps throwing you stuff, and you have to receive it and see it and figure out how you're going to solve that problem and take care of it.
Wow. So you analyze?
I guess so. Yes, sir.
So you've learned to analyze. But you've taken a step back.
Now I have.
And you're seeing the business as a whole.
Yes.
And you watch it.
Yes. Now I'm making sure that we grow.
Okay.
You know, if I go and be on the sales floor, maybe we won't grow as much because I'm busy. Yeah. You know, they're saying you're counting pennies and you're letting dollars out the back door. So I'm trying to grow the business and making sure that everything goes smooth, so everybody, you know, keeps growing. So
as you grow the business, though, you need a lot of capital.
Yes.
How did you find access to that capital?
Well, like I said, the relationship with my vendors is great. I have great lines of credit with every single one of them, and we hope to keep it that way. You know, keep paying them on time, and you pay them on time. You keep buying stuff, and they're happy, and we're happy.
Let me ask you a question I very seldom ask, but I think it's important to ask you. If you felt in your life coming from Chihuahua, California, back to Chihuahua, to Juarez, and then to El Paso, if in all of that process, and especially when you go out and start a business, did you feel discrimination in any way?
You know, when you asked me that question when we met this morning, and my wife was there, it's like, yes, we got discriminated here, we got discriminated here, and we got discriminated here. Here at the store, vendors will go up to me at the store and it's, can I talk to the manager, to the owner? And I would tell them, yes, how can I help you? No. I need to talk to the owner. And they would point at Glenn. And I would just, sure, there is Glenn. Glenn is my general manager. He's, like I said, he's the brain of the operation. He's a great person. And they would always go to Glenn thinking that he was the owner. And when I started, I didn't feel discriminated race-wise, but age-wise.
Okay.
People would go to the store and try to sell something, advertisers or vendors. It's like, can I talk to the owner? I was 28, and I think I always looked younger than what I actually am. It's like, yes, how can I help you? No, I need to talk to the owner. It's, yeah, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'll come back later. Okay, we'll see you next time.
How did you adjust?
No, there's no adjustment.
Okay.
It's just, you roll with the punches. I never felt bad.
Okay.
I never.
You just saw it.
Right.
And you acknowledged and said, see you later.
Yeah, no big deal,
That's interesting. So, but in terms of growing the business or access to capital or anything like that, you found your way.
Yes. Like I say, I never spend more than what I need. Most of the money that comes in, it always gets, you hit the nail right in the head, We always try to improve the tools that we have at the store. And that's pretty much why or how we keep growing.
So you're investing in your business.
We always invest in our business. That's what we do.
So what has it done for you now that you have built a successful business? What does it do for you?
I'm just proud of my people, of my guys, my crew, for a lack of a better word, that they keep growing and growing and growing, them personally, and when they grow, I grow.
Let me ask you another question that's a little different. What role does faith play in your life?
100%. There's, faith. You never start something thinking you're going to fail.
Okay.
You start something thinking that you're going to do great. And we have failures like everybody else, But overall, it's been a success. Faith is right on top of the list.
So is failure always a part of business and growing a business?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, when you fail, that's when you learn to take those punches and you learn. And
so you learn from your failure.
Yes, sir.
So do you also learn from your successes?
Yes. You learn more from the failures, though.
Yeah, if you're willing.
Yes. Well, if you see it.
So how do you make sure you see things how do you, because you can be blinded by things, right?
Maybe. A lot of people is blinded by money. I hate to say that, but a lot of people is, I've seen so many businesses when they have a good month of sales and they see the fat account and they take all the money out and they don't have money to pay the rent and pay the vendors later. You have to.
So you really have to feed the business for it to feed you.
Yes, sir. You stop feeding the businesses and it's going to go hungry.
And you have a standard, you have a set goal for growth every year. So have you grown your business organically? Is that a way to describe your business?
That's the way to describe it. We're very blessed with the support that we get from our customers. A lot of repeat business, and now we are to the point where the people that we sold 12 years ago are bringing their kids to buy for their homes.
Okay, so you've established a repeatable customer.
Oh, yes.
And that's not easy in your business because people buy a piece of furniture and it lasts for a lifetime, right?
And not anymore, unfortunately.
Really?
The average, and it's not because it doesn't last, but the average, historically speaking, the average of a furniture piece is 7 years.
Really?
And nowadays, it's not because it doesn't last, just people get tired of the brown and now want gray.
Okay.
Or they want to get rid of the gray and now want white. It just, it's historically 7 years.
Wow. Wow. Now, Why did you take the name National Furniture Liquidators?
I got it from a dear friend of mine. She had a store in San Antonio called National Furniture Liquidators. And I asked for her blessing if I could get her name, and she gave me her blessing.
Was she a furniture retailer?
She was on the liquidation business.
Okay.
She would go and close stores in distress or.
Why'd you like that?
bankrupt.
Why'd you like that name?
It's catchy. It's catchy. A lot of people still think that we are a liquidating business, and we're not anymore. It's just the name.
So really, you've built a brand.
Yes.
And you built an image?
Is well, the image is well branded. Yes, sir.
And so that's what you grow. And when you go into a new city like Albuquerque, you've been there 2 years, you say. Is that catching there?
It is. It is. It's taking its time, but Albuquerque has been a very successful store in the 2 years, almost 3 years we've been there.
So you've seen business owners come and go. What is the biggest formula for success you think that you've discovered?
They need to stop spending so much money. It's bottom line. I've seen a couple furniture stores, and one of them actually wanted to hire me for just to help him out, and I actually got him in my office and saw his numbers and saw his expenses, and it's like he was spending way too much money on things he didn't have to because the sales were there. And you see the kid. There's a couple people. You see the kid going on vacation here with a big old watch and a big old car, and then they went under. It's, I guess, just the administration part of it kills some of the business, the accounting part of it. The respect you gotta have for those taxes, you gotta pay those,
So you really watch the numbers.
I have a guy, Mario, my accountant, he's on top of everything.
But you check the numbers. You know how to read the numbers?
I do.
So you know where you're at all the time.
Most of the time, yes, sir.
One of the things you're saying, is and we talked about it before too, is the trust that you have in your team. You have built a team, and you trust them. How did you do that?
I gave him the tools to work. I'm not on top of them all the time. I let them work.
Okay.
If we get results, you leave them alone. The numbers don't lie. And that goes from the general managers to the managers to the salespeople to the people in the warehouse to the accountant. Numbers never lie.
So did you micromanage at one time?
I don't think I've ever been that person.
Okay.
And I think that's what made us successful.
Okay. So you actually brought good people on. But you don't have a lot of turnover. People stay with you.
Yes.
Why?
I think we treat them right. People, I always make it a point for people to try to come to work happy.
Okay.
How
do you do that?
Just gotta treat them right. You can't treat them like babies. You can't be yelling at them to do this or to do that. They know what they need to do. If you micromanage, they get tired of you, and they end up walking away or doing the opposite of what needs to be done. And I think it's probably one of the biggest things while we're growing. I let people do what they know what to do.
Okay.
They're all great at it.
So what do you want the El Paso community, Albuquerque community, Las Cruz community to know about your business? What is your message?
I didn't think about that. I'm gonna go the other way around.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back, and I always tell my salespeople when I get to hire them, and been a while since I hired one. But when I have a conversation with my salespeople, I always tell them, try to find out what they really need and what they really want. If you take care of what they need and what they want, they will buy from you. They will not go anywhere because you're honestly thinking or trying to fulfill what they need and what they want. If you just want to sell, people smell. They're just going to walk away. So I guess that would be my message. You know, we're always going to try to be honest with them. You know, we're not going to shortchange. We're not,
Okay.
you know, just that would be my message. What I tell my salespeople, try to give them what they need and fulfill what they need. And I think that would be it.
So that's kind of your motto, to make sure the customer gets what they need and what they want.
Just be honest with them.
To be honest with them. Okay.
Just be honest with them.
Well, Mr. Lujan, I've certainly enjoyed learning more about your business, and I'm delighted that you agreed to allow us to share your story. I trust the viewers learned a lot about you and your business, and I think you've shared a lot of very good business principles that you've learned from doing, not necessarily from having to go through courses. You learned face to face with the issues.
Took the punches.
So that's fantastic growth, a fantastic story, and I thank you so much for sharing your story. You certainly have built a successful business, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching, and I trust that it's been fascinating for you, as it has been for us. Have a good day. God bless.